So the number one strategy I would say for a lot of people is retirement accounts. If you've been working somewhere, most people don't, I would say these days don't work somewhere for 20, 30 years. People are working 4 or 5 years here, 2, 3 years there, and you're accruing all of these retirement accounts. So you are going to have old 401ks, old IRAs, old Roths that are sitting there, just like I did, and you can roll them over either into like self-directed IRAs and purchase real estate directly through some of these retirement accounts, which a lot of people don't know about. I would recommend if you had 30, 40K in a retirement account, you want to start thinking about auctions. Can I take 10 grand, 15 grand? Sometimes I mean, there are a lot of auctions. I don't even say sometimes, lots of places where you can buy properties. They may be land lots. It may be, big plots of land for $1,000 or less. I'm going to start thinking about, can I take my retirement accounts, roll them into a self-directed and start buying this stuff directly through my retirement account. You can also just cash them in. And that's what I did when I was just getting started in this game. I didn't have much cash at all. I mean, my first job, I want to say I made $6,000 the whole year. And I have tax returns to prove it, right? Like I pretty much paid to work my first year. So I didn't have a lot of capital, but I was always contributing. I had maybe 10, 15 grand in a retirement account in my mid 20s, and I just cashed it out. I put it all into real estate. It's probably the best thing I could have done, because even with the tax penalties and all those things, if you're not making a lot of money, then you're not really experiencing the tax penalties of doing this, or filling them in a full bore. So I cashed out my 401k. My buddy who got me into real estate cashed out his 401k. My brother cashed out his 401k. All of us bought real estate with it. All of these properties appreciated well over 100. And I don't believe the 401k was going to do similar results realistically. So at times you do have to think about your retirement account and you have to look at it. I've seen people with retirement accounts with $1 million in a retirement account, because I used to, I mean, I've seen people with more, quite frankly, because in my former profession was managing money for like millionaire clients. So I saw a lot of this, but I'm just talking about regular mom and pops. I see people all the time as I'm doing this real estate coaching for you guys, 500,000, quarter million, $1 million in a retirement account, and they're just kind of sitting on it. And I'm looking at it and just saying, well, you're only going to get 5 or 6% on that account. You're not going to get any tax losses. And as soon as you touch the money, you're going to pay taxes on it. Taking some of that capital off the table and getting a couple of rentals is just a kind of a no-brainer. But so many people are afraid of real estate. They don't have the education to really tap in, that they just don't do it. But I would recommend, as you learn, because you don't want to just take your money out of a retirement account and throw it into nothingness. You want to learn what you're doing. You have to invest in your education at some point. And you'll invest in your education by getting into a mentorship program, hopefully something with more support, one-to-one level support where you can get questions answered, versus just course content. You're either going to learn that way, or you're going to learn by going out and making mistakes and losing tens of thousands of dollars like everybody else does. I've told people, hey, I got burned for a GC for 50K on my first deal. And I was telling this to a guy on a podcast, and he's like, bro, I got burned for 250. And I was like, geez, I don't even know if I should tell my 50K story anymore. He got banged for a quarter million on his first deal. It happens all the time. And that education is very painful. So I just advise against it. I really do, from what I know. So that's a way you can go. Two things to think about with retirement accounts. You have taxes when you pull that money out. You have to factor that in, whatever your tax bracket is. And then there's a 60-day rule. If you do a loan from your 401k that you're currently working at this job, like you haven't left, once you leave, you can roll that money into self-directed retirement accounts and do your thing. But if you're still working there, and you take a loan from your 401k, if you get terminated, which could happen, there's recessions, there's all types of stuff going on, there's a 60-day payback rule on that loan. So that could get super accelerated for you. So it's something you need to be aware of, that 60-day rule. Number two, and guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribe, share the content with someone else you want to get value. A lot of people are like, Brian, this content is great. Oh, I got a lot of value out of it. Did you share it with somebody else? I gave it to you for free. Pass it around to somebody else, because this could help somebody to get into the game and get their first deal. That first deal changes everything. It's not, a lot of people will ask, Brian, how many deals do you have now? How many have you done? It's not the deals that you do in the future that truly matter. They will be more profitable probably than what you do early. They will get you to hit your goals, but that first one is what transforms you. That first one changes your mindset. And it's the mindset that leads to, it's the mindset shifts that lead to massive results in the future. So you don't necessarily need to put so much pressure on your early deal or deals 1 through 3. Even if you completely suck at this, you can recover on pretty much anything if you continue the path, because you will tighten up, you will get better. And one profitable deal could be a 50 to 100K flip, just one deal. Or you could hit one cash out refinance that is 50, 75,000, and it can just bump you right back up. Share the content with someone who you want to get value.